That's my rant.
Cool.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Cool.
But everyone knows. I think we need to stop.
Put an end to it.
Put an end
Kill
to
it.
this. Put an end. We need to work together. Because they both need to exist in our lives for different reasons. We need to have soda and popcorn days, but some of us need to go home at night, turn off the lights, drink some whiskey, smoke a cigar, and watch Titans.
Yeah.
Okay? And it serves a very different part in my mental.
And that's totally okay, but people don't understand that.
I know. They don't.
People, and again, goes in plenty of other episodes, I've been called a Marvel hater. I don't hate Marvel. I love Marvel.
Yeah.
But the only way that people my age and people nowadays can compare it is by the movies.
Right.
That's
true.
the only understanding people have of it.
Right.
Is Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't always do that. I do it by the comic books. And Titans, I guess now you can compare by the show.
Yeah.
And the show isn't necessarily the Titans that I know. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Which I like.
the Chris Evans Captain America isn't necessarily the Captain America I remember. Because Captain America's also done some bad shit.
Yeah.
He's also done some things. Again, the MCU doesn't show that, and that's totally okay.
Totally fine.
Because the MCU is about the family and the this and the kids and the this. And Spider-Man has done some stuff too.
Yep.
Again, he was a kid. Spider-Man, Peter Parker made some decisions. The MCU doesn't tell you that. But they focus on a different side of Peter Parker that
very family friendly.
Very family, and that's awesome.
Right.
Because Spider-Man, for the most part, is family friendly.
Sure, and you're right. If I'm not saying that Marvel comics have never gone dark, right? Like I can't say that bad things have never happened in a Marvel comic before.
Exactly.
But you're absolutely right. Most of the time, people are thinking MCU.
I know the
versus
MCU
DCU.
better than the DCEU movies. Yeah,
DCEU.
they are better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Personally, I like DC characters significantly more.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree.
And that's an unpopular opinion because people are like, "Wow, the movies are better."
Right. Yeah. That's not
awesome.
That's not what you said.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do I like certain DC villains way better than Marvel villains? Yes.
Yeah.
And I could make a comparison right now, and nobody would have any idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because I think Sinestro is better than the Mandalorian.
Yeah, and they're gonna be like,
who the hell's what?
Yeah, what are you saying?
And most people that are watching all these MCU
what
movies,
movie is Sinestro in?
Yeah, exactly. And most people might not even know who the Mandalorian is.
Right, that's true.
But that would be something I could tell somebody that wants to talk to me about it and think they know everything.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "What?"
And so, right.
And
I know
that's fine. And I'm not trying to be better or think I know more. I just have a preference.
Yeah.
I have something that I like.
Yeah.
I love all the Marvel movies are all sitting right there on my shelf.
Right.
And I love the lightheartedness. I love that my nephews can be like, "Yo, Spider-Man's awesome. Yeah. Captain America's awesome." Kids need superheroes to look up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't look up to Batman. Probably not.
Probably not the best way to live
but
your
maybe
life.
Don't look up to Deadpool either. Mm-hmm. But again, they made Deadpool a family-friendly, cute, na.
Right.
Deadpool's a murderer.
Yeah.
And he's a proud murderer. Wolverine is a there's things you can pick up out of Marvel, and you can make a super rated R Marvel movie. Yeah. And it would be awesome.
Yeah.
Look at Logan.
Logan
was
probably one of my favorite.
One of the best, and he's going through and he's murdering people.
And but we should note that Logan and Deadpool were made by Fox.
That is
not Disney.
See? Again, yeah.
So Disney
That's
now
true.
owns Fox, but not at the time that those two movies were made.
Correct. And now they're like, let's make a PG-13 Deadpool movie.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa, why?
So now they're in a different arena. And because I agree with you. You could say that there's some dark Marvel stuff out there.
There is. Mm-hmm.
And again, people are going to be like, I want to compare. But even Deadpool's cracking jokes the whole time. Yeah. Right. And it is still lighthearted. And I know that Wolverine has some dark comics because he has a dark past. And he's probably one of the best, most well thought out Marvel characters.
Yeah.
That I think that they've run through. And again, people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen him much on the screen."
Yeah.
And be like, "No,
you mean Hugh Jackman? I love Hugh Jackman.
Like, no, I don't mean Hugh Jackman. Wolverine the character.
Exactly. But I see your point. That would be a great thing. I would love to stop comparing it.
I don't think we.
I would love to stop having some of these conversations with people because I don't need to lie.
You buy them.
I don't need to lie.
You buy them both. You watch them both. Mm-hmm. You watch them both at different times in your life, depending on your mood. They both serve a purpose. They both help you get through a certain kind of day. But you watch them at different times in your lives to get you through different times.
Just like you have different meals. Like I don't
different
music, different coffee or like whatever it is that you do.
Yes.
It's different.
Yes.
And where I am now is I just like the DC stuff more. I like those characters.
That's where you are in your life.
I'm watching an animated DC show that is extremely graphic.
Oh,
it's extremely. It's just an adult. You can't.
Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Another very rated R.
Oh, but it's a cartoon, so someone's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put my kid on this show."
No.
I saw a whole room of people get their heads exploded. Like,
right.
But it's good.
It's very.
It's not supposed to be.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it's very good.
It's not supposed to. It's a cartoon. It's not supposed to be vulgar and sexual, and these things aren't supposed to be happening.
Right. But they are.
And those topics they're making good use of it.
I agree. Yeah. And that's all that matters.
And I love the animated Spider-Man shows because that guy was happy-go-lucky and he had the girl and he was smart and he went to college and he did all the traditional stuff you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but you would
watch. I love.
And you watch Spider-Man before school or on a Saturday morning.
Every Saturday.
With a bowl of cereal.
Every Saturday.
That's when you watch it. You watch Harley Quinn with a beer at night.
Yes.
Like that's but both animated shows based on, I mean, one's a villain.
Yeah.
But still animated comic book characters.
Yeah.
Very different though. You don't compare the animated Spider-Man show to Harley Quinn animated show
because they're not the same. They're not for the same.
But people want, but you'd be like, oh, but I want to because they're both animated comic book characters.
And I understand why people are doing it. But
it's in our nature to do that.
I've had conversations with people for so many years, and it all ends the same way. It's like, oh well, you're just a hater.
You're just a Marvel hater.
You're just a hater. She's like, you know what? I'm not necessarily comparing the movies. I can compare the movies. Yeah, the movies are better.
Yeah,
to some degree. Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. And that's fine. If somebody wants to go toe to toe with me and say, "Hey, let's compare Justice League to Avengers." Fine, we can have the comparison of as a made movie.
Yes.
Which one is better? And we can have that comparison. But I don't want to have this DC versus Marvel conversation anymore.
If you want to have a Justice League characters versus Avengers characters conversation, we can even do that.
We can do that too, as long as we know the bounds that we are in.
But it's always going to go back to the MCU,
and then I'm going to be like, no, but that's not the conversation we're having.
Exactly.
Like, if you put bounds on a conversation, we can have a conversation. But don't be like, but Marvel's better than DC. We're not even in the same arena anymore.
Now we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, it's a totally different conversation.
And it's fun for me, and I welcome anyone that wants to have a conversation with me. People, they're like, why do you like DC more? If you want to have that conversation with me, we can have it.
Yep.
And if at the end, you're like, I still don't like it, that's fine.
Fine.
Cool. I will never try to convince you why I like DC better than Marvel.
And that's not anyone's job to do that.
I don't need to do it because I don't care what you think.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If you go home and think something, I don't care.
But if you're asking me why do you like DC more, just so I can try to convince you to like Marvel more, then I think we're starting on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
It's not. Then this conversation is going to go nowhere.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, I'm a bigger DC character fan than any character that exists in Marvel. But that doesn't mean that I'm a bigger DCEU fan than I am an MCU fan.
Exactly.
Right? And that doesn't mean that I always pick a DC movie or comic over a Marvel movie or comic.
And people are just always going to see it by the movies.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
But it's like you can't live in both worlds, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I can't live in both worlds when I want to.
I can. I do.
You should.
Everybody
should.
Certainly happy. I don't mind being the guy that people like know as liking whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I've had such a good time recently with stuff. And there was a point 6 months ago, and I'm like, I don't want any superhero this. I remember done.
That. Yeah.
I don't care anymore. I'm gonna watch the classics. I'm gonna work on my list, and I was done with it. And I wasn't done with it because I stopped caring. I was done with it because people were making me angry about it.
Yeah.
People were making me feel bad about something that I loved so much.
And that's awful.
And I'm like, why am I skipping out on these things?
Right. Yeah.
Why am I skipping Titans? I love the Teen Titans. One of my favorites. Why am I not watching this show?
Right.
Again, it was a half and half different reason. I had another reason I swore off to never see the show.
Right.
After seeing the show, I was like, I cannot believe I told myself that.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? The other reason is people are making me feel bad about
being a
fan.
Like,
yeah. Teen Titans, come on, bro. That's lame. That sucks. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it does suck. So
yeah. So then you keep your mouth shut. You don't say anything.
And then I just don't say anything. But I was purposely avoiding things because I was letting other people control how I felt about something I cared about. Which is awful. But awful. I did it to myself. Nobody made me do it.
Yeah, no,
I'm like, gosh, all right, maybe I should chill out with the superhero stuff.
And so, but that's still the fact that because we know that there is a DC perspective, I guess. There's like it's like being an Android fan who owns a Windows computer and likes DC.
Yeah,
it's like. But don't even talk to me,
people
bro.
do that to me because I have I've been saying Samsung because Android has such a negative connotation.
Yeah,
now.
If you say
so
Android.
I say, but even when I say, why do you have a Samsung phone?
Yeah.
What? Why don't you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Well, because my Samsung, I like it. I know how to use it. I'm really good with. But you should have an iPhone. What?
And I have a very similar. I have a very similar outlook on Android versus iPhone, but it is different because you do have to pick one.
Yeah,
that's where.
But then if you're not with the majority, people are like, what's wrong with you?
Right. And so, the difference between like a DC and Marvel is you can coexist. You can live every day. And those two things can coexist in your life every day. And
it's totally fine.
Technology is hard because if I pick an Android phone, well, that's that means I made a choice, right? That's like if you said I only pick DC and now I can only have DC movies in my house.
Yeah.
And I can only watch DC movies from now on. I feel the same way about Android versus iPhone. I do believe that these two things can coexist.
But I do too.
But unfortunately, in our lives, we have to pick one.
Yes.
And then people get very judgmental about whichever one you pick.
Weird to me.
It is weird.
We'll do a minute or two of it.
All right.
There's nothing else. I don't think that people are like, why would you do that?
Versus Android.
If I go out and buy a Toyota. Someone's like, oh my! You didn't get a Nissan? What? You're gonna drive around town with that?
You're like
no. Right. You can't drive around town with that.
Yeah.
But when I tell people I have a sound, what? They're like, how do you message people? I'm like, what do you mean? How do you text message people?
With the
you don't have
app.
You don't have iMessage. You can't text message people.
Oh.
I'm like, that's I can. The same way I make calls. It's the same way you make calls.
Yeah.
But it's this thing that people are like weirded out by it.
That you still make, you consciously make that choice.
Yes. They're like, why do, but everybody
with all the
has an
information
iPhone.
out there in the world, how do you still choose Android?
Everybody has an iPhone.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
And I
don't know what to say. I'm like, what do you mean? That's like going to McDonald's. Like, dude, Burger King's right there.
Yeah, and
you pick McDonald's?
And again, I think it's different because they also had to make a choice for whatever reason. They chose an iPhone because their whole family has an iPhone. All their friends have iPhones,
awesome.
Right? They made a choice, and I think people would rather play defense right off the bat than or I guess offense right off the bat than defense.
Start attacking.
Yeah, so people would rather just go straight into offense right away rather than try to play defense with you.
And here's my next thing. So when I have these conversations with customers and people, I go, okay, why do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
And they can't explain why either.
Yeah, because
they don't know why.
Right.
They're like, oh, I've always had one. That's not an answer.
Yeah. It's not a technological answer.
Yeah.
Right.
And if it's somebody that just has truly always had one, fine. But the people I deal with can explain why they have an iPhone.
Yeah.
But they can't.
No. Because
why do you have a Samsung? Oh, well, I whatever, and I can give my reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got that iPhone there. Why do you have that?
Again,
well, I got a good deal on it.
I would argue that most people have an iPhone because somebody else had an iPhone.
Correct.
I don't think that the majority of people that I have run into, and again, I worked in the same field you did and dealt with thousands of customers.
Yes.
That most of them have an iPhone because they felt like they should.
Yeah.
Not because they read anything about what it can do and decided technologically that it was a better device versus an Android device. There's not a lot of that.
Yeah, and we won't go too far.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what phone you have. But for some reason, people care that I don't have an iPhone.
And at the end,
I don't care what you have. I don't care.
Absolutely.
But for some reason, it bothers people that I don't have an iPhone.
And at the end of the day, I say this all the time. It's like we live the technology that we deal with on a daily basis. It's like we're living in the Olympics of technology, right? It's like people are upset that for whatever year, because it changes year to year. It changes every 6 months of what phone's better than what phone for what reason. It's like people are upset that I picked the silver versus the gold this time around, and they're like,
"Yo,"
and I'm
don't
like,
even get me started on colors.
But I'm like, I don't understand why these phones really do the same thing.
All of them.
There's not real, and people are like, oh, but what about AirPlay and AirTags and blah blah blah, and I'm like, but yes, it does it. They all do the same thing differently. But, and again, everyone wants to debate, but this phone does it better. And it happens all the time at the Android too. You name a feature on iPhone, Android had it first.
Yeah.
Is the immediate response.
And they've done that for years.
Android, Samsung did that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. That's all so I get it. It's both sides.
1,000% it is.
Everybody's annoying.
Yes.
I fully understand that.
Yes.
So in large part, these phones are not that different.
No.
And I just also wish this conversation would end, but I do think it's different because people have to make the choice. You either live in a house of Android or you live in a house of Apple, or Google and Apple, and then you have to figure it out.
And I wish it would end because, again, I don't care what you have.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It affects my life zero.
Not at all. Not at all.
Even at my job, it affects my life zero.
Yeah, not at all.
But it's just crazy to me that people are just weirded out by it.
Yeah. I mean, again, I completely.
I'm like, that's such a weird. Of all the weird and awful things about me as a person,
that's what they go after.
That's what you're upset about,
and they judged you.
That's what you're judging me about. I've done some bad stuff in my life. I could tell you about them too.
Yeah,
but you're the thing that you're gonna pick at. Well, because it's probably the thing you can immediately see.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
But they're like, that's weird. How do you do this?
There's got to be some psychological effect going on, right?
Like,
and I'm like, you're right. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Who cares?
In the world of technology, it's all awesome.
Yeah.
Let's stop having these conversations.
Yeah, that's what's fun and exciting.
Doesn't matter.
We're all growing technology so rapidly.
And it's all
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I do wish conversations would end. I think it's going to keep going, and that's fine. And some of it is fun. And again, if people want to sit down and have an actual conversation about why,
those conversations
I would love
are so fun.
Yes, I would love to have a conversation.
Because you can learn and you oh shit, well that's cool, and it's like, well that's cool too, and this and
like,
that.
Oh, I didn't fully understand that that's how that worked. Right?
And I learn every single day.
Absolutely,
and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Believe me, there's you learn the most about a competitor when you're trying to sell your devices, right?
Correct.
You learn way more about a competitor when you're trying to outsell them.
The only thing is, if you don't have facts in an understanding, do not come at me.
Oh yeah.
If you cannot explain your side of the story, you can't tell me why mine is bad.
Oh yeah.
You can't do that.
Of course. Yeah.
If you're just gonna mumble your way out of it and have zero understanding and zero knowledge, don't try to pick a fight with me.
Yeah.
Because I will bury you under the earth.
And again,
if you have a valid argument and you want to fight and you want to debate, let's do it.
Right.
But if you don't have those facts ready to go, if you don't have an argument ready to go, don't try to come at me and upset me and make me mad and say all these things to me just to get a rise out of me.
And that's what it is.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Again, if you're ready to go and do this, let's do it. It's fun. It's exciting. If you have no ammunition, why would you try to
why would you come at me?
Why would you try to fight me? And people get so upset with me all the time, and they walk away all mad. I'm like, you came to a fight with nothing.
Yeah.
You started this fight. I ended it because you had nothing to fight me back with.
Right.
And now you're the one mad.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like.
And that happens all the time.
That's what I don't like.
And I truly believe that it would happen both ways, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that
then somebody on my side would do the exact same thing.
Right. And that's where I'm like, I don't agree, I don't think that any one side is better than the other, because I do think both sides are annoying.
Yeah. Oh,
and
Marvel and DC, you guys are both annoying.
Like, just both annoying.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you. People come in hot. People come in real hot all the time.
Out of the gate.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and you're like, whoa, I didn't even know we were having a conversation.
Yeah, I didn't even know you wanted to have a debate.
Now we're arguing.
Well, guess what? Now I know.
Yeah, now I'm aware.
Okay.
So let me just get my bearings real quick.
So let's do this.
And then I'm going to come at you.
Yeah. And then
now I'm coming at you.
Yeah.
And that's and I agree with you. Like, if people want to have that debate, that's fine.
Let's do it.
Let me know that we are going to have that debate, and let's have it. But don't come at me.
Yeah. Randomly on a Thursday morning.
Blindside me, and then expect things not to get heated, because they will.
But people have done that with me with Marvel and DC too.
Yeah, again, because there's this need to debate, and I just want it to stop.
I don't need to. I want to enjoy it.
All right. That was my little.
That was okay.
That was my little thing.
It's important. Wait, so then real quick.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying Doom Patrol? Because we haven't talked about it at all.
I love Doom Patrol.
Is it too weird for you?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
It is very strange.
It wasn't
too weird for me, but I'm like, I've never seen a show that's this obscure and weird.
Well, and you said it to me beforehand, which was the show deals with themes that make you think about your own life.
Yeah.
And I really think that when a show can do that for you, and it's doing it for me too, it's going above and beyond what it was set out to do. The show is set out to entertain you. That's its job.
Any show or movie is for.
If it goes above and beyond, it makes you think about, because it's transcending the show, right? When the show is over, I'm not thinking about the show. I'm thinking about what the show taught me.
Yeah.
And that's making me reflect on my own life. And that's, I think, that's like doing extra credit.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what the Doom Patrol is doing. It's like every episode, it does a little bit of extra credit. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I think that I should appreciate things more. I think I should reevaluate the way I look at things. And it affects how the choices that I'm making.
Yeah.
And that is
huge.
That's huge. It's a really good show.
Awesome. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
I was worried you weren't going to like Titans. I was worried I wasn't going to like Titans.
Yeah.
I had strangely weird personal reasons for not wanting to ever watch Titans.
Right.
But I'm glad I did. It's fun. It's exciting. Season 3 is bonkers good. It's bonkers good.
Can't wait to get there.
And me and Rico talk about it. Like, Garrett's like, oh, just see that? I was like crazy. We get it. Like, we're all excited, and it's just good. It's the comic book little fun thing that I like, and I like that it's rated R, and I like that they're slashing. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I like Doom Patrol for different reasons, because they're not
completely different reasons.
Superhero. I don't even know what they are.
They're not.
They figure it out. They identify them, and they figure out who they are and who they're trying to be. And but I look at Titans like, oh, the ultimate. My favorite is doing shit and kicking ass, and that's cool. Yeah. And then I watch Doom Patrol, and I'm like, oh my god, I've been such a shit my whole life. Yeah. Why? I need to go out and get some sunshine, man. I need to go tell my mom I love her. But and what I love changed everything about myself.
Exactly. And what I love about Doom Patrol is it knew what it was before it got started. Yeah. When the writers sat down or the producers sat down and said, hey, I want to make this show. And it's a show about this. Mm-hmm. They immediately knew what it was. It wasn't trying to be anything else. It knew it was a group of an eclectic bunch doing weird shit because weird shit was happening to them, and they had to figure things out. But it's really a bunch of people that, like, it's a bunch of people that have problems, right? It's people that are selfish, that have big egos, that are sons of bitches, right? That are literally they were keeping a secret and now have to hide behind wraps, right? So it's so
it's not about them, their powers or anything. It's about who they are inside. Right? It's about who you are as a person.
And their powers are so it's like so as an example, what's her name? The Blob.
Rita.
Yeah. Okay, Rita is very vain, right? Mm-hmm. So she gets the worst superpower a vain individual could get.
She was the most beautiful. She was glorious, and now she's the ugliest. Now she's the complete opposite.
Yeah, the complete opposite of how she felt as a person.
Yeah,
I love that. The power that you would want the least is what you get.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
that's what you get.
That's what you get for being who you are. Mm-hmm. If you were a better person, this wouldn't have happened to you.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm gonna reveal the worst thing about you through your superpower
and make you live it.
And I love that about the show. Love that.
It tackles issues, and it's
a great show.
Man.
It's just well written.
I was just addicted to it.
Yeah, I'm addicted.
I was like,
I'm watching it every chance I get.
Grossed out. I was excited. I was all these different things. I haven't started season 2.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not far behind.
And I haven't watched the last episode of Titans yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, I was always up there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me just relax for a minute. And it came at a good time because it came right when Shang-Chi came out. So I could pull my focus. I could do all that. Tonight, I'll probably do both. I'll probably do episode 1, season 2.
Oh, okay.
And then the last episode of Titans.
Gotcha.
But I just feel, again, going back to the debate, watching these things, I can look at my life when I'm done.
Yeah, and
with some Marvel stuff, I'm like, I had fun, I had my popcorn, it was awesome.
And then
I'm gonna go about my day.
Yeah.
There's some episodes of Doom Patrol towards the end of the season. I'm like, oh my, like
I really need to get my crap together.
Should I be apologizing for people to things that I've done? Should I be apologizing to myself for things that I've done?
Yeah.
Should I, what ugly thing am I doing that the world is the world is viewing me as Diego, right? I'm this guy, but they're viewing it as this ugly thing that I'm doing, right? And I don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it every day.
But be careful because it's going to come out.
And somebody else is looking like Diego's a jerk.
So then,
and he does it. I see him every day and he does this shit to me.
Yeah.
And he's such a jerk for it.
He yells at me every day.
And I'm living life like normal.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that.
Yeah.
So when I'm done watching Doom Patrol, I'm like, what am I doing to somebody that's upsetting them? What did I do as a young person that I'm still doing to this day? But I'm okay with it. You know what, Sam? I don't care how you view me because I get to do whatever I want. And you can either be in my life or don't. I don't care. And you're going home. It's like, oh, God, I wish Diego wasn't like that. And I'm not seeing it. So I'm done with the episode. Like, whoa, who am I hurting?
Well, and
who am I causing pain to?
Doom Patrol is a great exercise in self-reflection because these people all have problems. And even though someone like Rita has, like, as an audience, we're watching and we're like, obviously you have this shitty power because of the person that you were. Like, they are still going through this journey of discovering that is why why Robot Man is who he is.
Yeah, why he gets to suffer the way
he does. Why he's suffering the way he's suffering, and why Rita's suffering the way she's suffering. Like, they are still having to figure out.
Yeah.
What was it? Negative Man? No.
Yeah, yeah. They don't call him that.
Yeah, but
oh my God, what is his name?
Larry.
Larry, yeah.
So Larry, like, he doesn't even, like, he's having this constant, like, literally with
himself,
within
himself.
He's having this battle,
gets
right?
So good, gosh, it gets so good.
I can't wait.
And then it goes back to the thing. I'm like, who am I in my own home when nobody's around?
Right. Yeah.
Who am I when I go to work? Who am I when I hang out with my family?
Yeah.
I'm not one person. I'm these different people.
Right.
And am I being true to the one Diego that I am?
Yeah.
Or am I just lying to everybody so the world can see what I want them to see?
And the fact that the show made you even think that.
And it did. I'm like, am I just lying? Do I leave the house and completely change fundamentally everything about me so people will like me?
Turn it on.
And then when I get home, I can do whatever I want because nobody can see me?
Yeah. And I think
that's why I'm like... That's why this show is...
And this show made you think that.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And again, I don't like now...
But you drove in the car on the way to work. You weren't thinking about the show.
No.
You were thinking about what the show was telling you.
And am I going to walk into work and people are like, oh, God,
Diego's damn it, Diego's
or people going to be like, oh, Diego's here. We're going to have some fun today.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, we can stop the debate, but I haven't had a lot of those moments with Marvel properties. Not even MCU, just Marvel. I had a lot of it with Spider-Man as a kid.
Sure.
But like...
Sure. He's very relatable. He is
very relatable. But
living a double life.
Have I walked out of certain Marvel movies and be like, dude, I need to be a better person because I have family and people that love me and I'm not living my life right? Have I? Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
I really don't remember those
not me
moments.
Personally.
I've had moments in them where I'm like, dang, maybe I should hit the gym.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should get a little...
I should really be healthier.
Yeah, I should be a healthier person so I can... Whatever.
Right. I know what you mean.
But leaving Doom Patrol has really, in a lot of episodes near the end...
Made you think about your life.
Think like, oh my God.
It's very good. And that's what, I mean, again, I can probably talk about Doom Patrol for a very long time. But that's the difference. And that's the difference. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, no, there is a difference, guys. Like it's hard to fall asleep after watching an episode of Doom Patrol because it's not because you're scared or freaked out or something happened. It's just because you're in your own head.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, and I've had a couple moments after watching them.
Yeah.
When I'm like, oh my God, like
I'm running on the treadmill and I'm watching them, and a show will end, and I won't play the next episode.
You can't. It's impossible.
I'm like running, like still thinking about what was happening. I'm like I forgot that I was running and watching a show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh shoot, I should move on, and then I'll play the next episode. But I'm like stuck there for a bit, right? Just in my head.
And that's why I stopped after season 1 because I was like, I need to I need to decompress. I need to reflect because
let some of this sink in.
I'm at 100 miles an hour all the time.
Yeah, I agree. But that's the difference.
That's why
it's a different. It serves a different purpose.
Gives me, like you said, we already talked about it.
Yeah, it gives you the joy.
It's day and night. It's different things.
Yeah.
But the way I view DC and the reason
for me
personally is so prevalent and so big in my own personal life and my quietness on my own heart. I don't talk about it with other people.
Yeah.
But reading certain Dick Grayson comics have made me be like, oh my God.
reflect on yourself. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Right.
And again, now I can go live it in the quietness of my own heart, and then go about it, and that's totally fine. But we can keep them completely separate, and I think we should.
Well, and they can you watch them for different reasons at different times in your life, and they serve different purposes, but they do coexist.
And that's totally okay.
And that's, I think, the way that it should be. All right. I don't know how long we've been going, but it's been a while.
Yeah, we're good.
Real quick, I do want to hit on the trailers real fast for Spider-Man and Eternals. I just real fast. I just want to know what you thought of No Way Home.
No Way Home was like exactly what I thought it was.
All right.
Like it wasn't. I'm not any more excited. I'm not any less excited. Again, another hot take. I couldn't give a shit how many Spider-Men are in this movie. I just don't care.
It's not going to change whether you go see it.
It's not going to change whether I go see it.
You're going to go see it.
I'm going to go see the movie.
Yeah.
Part of me is a little worried if there's 3 Spider-Men in this movie. Again, is it going to be super cool? Yeah, I'm gonna have the nostalgia. Like I'm gonna have those things like, oh my god, I saw 3 Spider-Man in one movie. That's awesome.
But is it gonna serve a purpose?
Is it gonna make this movie better than the other Spider-Man movie?
We don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It could. It could not.
Yeah.
Eternals is, I think, visually going to be very cool.
Right.
Again, I don't know who any of these people are or what they represent or what their powers are or why they're here. I know nothing.
Right.
I did a little bit of research, and all I came up with is they're fucking powerful.
I think they're like the hey, almighty.
Maybe like don't screw with them because you stand 0 chance.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's cool. I'm like up for like an almighty space thing.
Right.
But then at the same time, I'm like, oh, this is like a lot. Like need a break.
I agree.
It's a lot. I don't know what to do. The movie's gonna look cool. It's gonna be action packed. But as far as like continuing like with the MCU stuff, I'm getting very tired because I found something else clearly that I just enjoy so much more.
Right.
And I'm having a better time with it. And it's not being shoved down my throat because I get to watch Harley Quinn, Titans, and Doom Patrol at my own leisure.
Right.
I've been off Doom Patrol for like a week, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah. And then you'll start up again.
But then I turn on the news. It's like Marvel, DC, no way, Eternals, Shang-Chi, WandaVision, Loki, this, that. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm going to watch something else because that seems to be all you can talk about.
There is a lot of Marvel because it's like what's popular, right?
And that's and I get it from that point.
So
it's popular, it's making money, they got theme parks, they got everything.
Everything.
And if I was the head of everything, if I was Kevin Feige or
that's what you would want.
Or what's his name?
The head of Disney.
Disney.
Bob Chapek.
Bob Chapek. If I was Bob Chapek or Kevin Feige,
that's what you want.
Damn right, I'm gonna shove this shit down your throat and make a gajillion dollars.
Yeah, that's what it's exactly.
Of course,
what
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
As a fan, I'm tired. Am I gonna watch Eternals and No Way Home? Yeah, probably.
100%. I agree with you to a point. I don't mind, and maybe I don't have all the noise in my ear all the time as much as you do because I'm not out in the world of, my job and my personal life are very quiet just by the nature of what they are, right? You have a busier job where things are always coming at you. So I don't know that I mind the noise that I'm hearing on a daily basis. But what I do think is different this time around is I don't know, and maybe some people do, but I don't know how Shang-Chi and Eternals and No Way Home and WandaVision and Loki and Falcon, I don't know how all these things are connecting right now, which is something that we've grown to expect from the MCU. So right now, these all feel like very different movies, right?
Totally. Like, how do you even make them one?
Yeah, and like right, exactly. And that's what that's how I feel.
Yes.
I'm asking myself, how do you even make them one? How do you get these movies to connect? I cannot wait for No Way Home.
I'm
super
fired
stoked.
up. I'm fired up
for Spider-Man. But I love Spider-Man as a character. So again, You put Spider-Man on screen, I'm probably going to go watch it. 100%. You don't have to put all the bells and whistles in there. Tell a good story. Just tell me a good story, and I'm there. The Eternals, I don't know anything about the Eternals. It looks really good. Mm-hmm. Again, it looks like they are betting on this movie, right?
Yes, and so, and
because of that, I'm going to show up for it to see. But when these all connect, because I think we know they're going to connect, right? There's going to be a point in time where the Eternals are in the same room as Shang-Chi and Spider-Man, and they're all in there like, hey guys, what's going on? Yeah. That's going to happen. I don't know how. I don't know when.
And it might be 5 or 6 years from now before that does.
And when that does, we're all going to show up for it.
Yeah, of course.
But right now, there is a disconnect with these movies. So when the trailers are coming out, I'm not excited for Eternals as much as I was. So as an example, as I was like Thor, right?
Yeah.
Which I also knew nothing about, but I knew he fit into the MCU.
What he was about. Exactly.
From the first movie, he was fit into the MCU, right? So we knew it was going to lead to bigger and better things before we even sat down in the seat.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that is happening because these characters are less known to the wide audience.
And that's correct. We have no idea.
Zero.
Even if they do. So if it all comes together, full circle, and everything fits together.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm still going to care about the Eternals either.
We don't. Yeah.
So if they put them all in the same room and Loki did his time and everything happens, I love Loki. I really do. Do I want to see Loki forever? Like, I don't know that. I do. I just won't know until it happens. I'm excited these things are happening and they're fun, and I'm not trying to be a Marvel hater. I'm really not. Like, I'm excited for all this. I'm excited to have everybody in the same room. I'm excited for that Avengers feeling again.
Right.
For me personally, it just happened.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Tony Stark just died.
But they have to, so they're starting over, right?
Yeah. And again, if the way the timeline or whatever you want to call it's going, not much time has passed.
No.
Since Endgame.
Right.
Was Endgame was
No, it was the last one.
So not much time has passed. The snap just happened.
Yeah.
All of these events are not far behind.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give me another gigantic everybody big event, I'm not over the last one.
I don't think
that's a personal thing. I know everybody's already excited.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen soon. I think that they are building all of these movies up, and they do have work to do to get us excited.
Yes, and that's fine.
It probably will happen.
But they just showed me that they can do it because I didn't give a rat's ass about Shang-Chi 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. Yes, I agree. So, and watching Shang-Chi made me more excited about the Eternals.
Exactly.
Because for that reason. Because I don't know anything about the Eternals. But apparently, I don't need to know anything about anything, and I will have the best time of my life.
And that's super fine and good. To me, again, I can only speak about me. It's different when you have a group. I can care about Shang-Chi by himself. Am I going to care about all 6 Eternals?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then all 6 of I forgot the Celestials or whatever, the Guardians of the Eternals? Yeah. Because they've already showed them.
Yeah.
So now I have to care about all 6 Eternals plus the Celestials or whatever they're called. Yeah. I don't think that's right.
I don't know what they're called. But the Watchers, the
people that
watch them,
are sending them.
Yeah. Because he's like, who sends? Yeah. Who tells you what to do?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
I might love everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, what if I only like one of them?
Yeah.
Or what if that was not enough for me?
Right.
Shang-Chi did it really well. What if Eternals isn't enough for me to be like, all right, now I'm an Eternals fan?
I mean, again, I think it's possible.
I think they can. They already proved they can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm ready.
But it hasn't happened yet, which is why I think there is reservation. Because they have to make it happen first, and then people will show up for the rest of it. Because I agree with you. There's a lot. We still don't have Hawkeye, right? We don't have She-Hulk.
Yeah, we don't have.
We don't have. Yeah, so there's still shows that are coming out. We still got to get into what is it called? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, right? Like that's whole thing is gonna.
A lot of it makes me nervous because when you use that word, you can make the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Or you can just royally destroy everything.
Well, and if
if it gets to the point, and here's how I'll know. I think again, just talking about me. Yeah. If I can't keep up,
who else can?
If I am losing track on characters and storylines, and this show and that movie, I'm good at it.
Yeah,
I can tell you in the comics and movies, I can keep everything in a line. I got my ducks in a row. I know everything. I'm way beyond because I'm a huge nerd and I love it.
This is what you do all day.
This is me, and everybody who's close to me knows that.
Yeah.
If I start losing track, some random Joe Schmo is screwed.
Absolutely.
Because if I can't keep it in line, there's no way some random moviegoer can do it.
Well, and that was my argument.
There's no shot.
That was my argument way back when, even though Kevin Feige says you have to watch the shows to understand the movies, right? Which I was like, of course he's going to say that. They want Disney Plus.
To watch your shows.
They want Disney Plus subscribers. Of course he's going to say that. But that was my argument way back when, because not everybody is going to watch the shows. The fans are going to watch the shows, not the Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
And if you want Joe Schmo to walk into your Eternals movie, you're not going to make him watch the show.
But is that still the case or is that not the case? Because I still don't know.
It was said that you have to watch the show to understand.
I don't want to watch the shows.
But I don't think you're going to. I think there's going to be little things. So, for example, Wanda is in Doctor Strange, right?
Okay. Which we've known for a long time.
Yeah. We might, or someone who didn't watch WandaVision may not understand how she's so powerful or why because she's reading the book, right?
The book, yeah.
She's reading the
book from Charmed.
The opposite, yeah. She has the opposite book of Doctor Strange. So one's good, one's bad. One's good, one's bad.
Yeah.
And so again, like you may not know how that's happening, but I don't think you need to know to enjoy the movie. That's the difference. It's like if you knew,
it's optional.
Yeah, it's like it would be cool if you did, but you don't have to.
And that's totally fine.
I think that's the way they're going to
like I said, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I love it all. It's something I've loved all my life.
Right.
But I'm telling you, the second I lose track of everything, and I'm good. I
agree with you.
I'm good at it.
I agree with you.
I can tell you stuff, and I know exactly where everybody laid,
100%.
And I know what point in time they left, and when this door opened, and when that door closed. I could do it.
Yeah.
But if I start losing track, people are gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not gonna watch it. I can see that happening.
I completely agree with you because it's just not everybody is going to take the time. It takes so much time.
And at some point, even myself included, because I've been on the edge and I've looked over. I'm just not gonna. I'm tired of superhero stuff. It's gonna be too much. Too much.
And if you're a film fan in general, just you like to watch movies. Not every movie you watch can be a superhero movie.
No, it can't.
You have to get onto other things.
Free Guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good movie.
It's like you have to watch other stuff.
You just have to.
You can't.
And the reason I like them is, again, sometimes I just have a good experience, a great time, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
Popcorn, soda, the whole thing. I want to have fun for 2 hours, and that's fine. Did it win an Oscars at the best? No. But I had fun, so you did your job. You got my $18.
I don't think that they're gonna. It would be ridiculous. I think it seems like it's crowded and it's a lot, and maybe that was their own doing. But I don't think that's what it's gonna end up being because so far they have done a good job of keeping it together. I don't think that they're going to lose track of it now. I think that truly, honestly, if I had to do like a Sam prediction, not based on anything that I've read or heard, I think the multiverse exists solely to bring in the Fox characters that they purchased. I really don't think it's more complicated than that.
And I hope they don't make it more complicated.
I think it's so that they can bring in a Fantastic Four and an X-Men
and do it in a movie, and that's fine.
And that's what they needed. They were like, we're gonna have fun telling the story, but really And the only reason there are Marvel shows is to get Disney Plus subscriptions. I don't think it's more complicated than that.
I hope so. I don't want the confusion.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything more than that.
In stories that I've read from Marvel and DC, multiverse is very confusing.
Messy.
After Crisis happened in DC, everything changed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who was who anymore.
Right.
Because Crisis flipped everything literally upside down.
Yeah.
So after this event happened and they opened the multiverse door, I'm like, I don't understand anymore. And it took me after New 52 happened to be like, okay, now I know where everybody is again.
Yeah,
which was just a long time before I understood everything.
And on that note, Flashpoint is gonna suffer from can potentially suffer from the same thing as Doctor Strange, right? Yeah. So the new Flash movie come out can get very, very messy.
Yes.
Because people are gonna be like, I don't know where. At the end of the movie, people can be like, okay, so who's Batman now? And again, where are we going from here?
When they did Flashpoint originally, that's what happened.
Right. Yeah.
He messed everything up, and it was so we didn't know who was good, who was bad. We didn't know even at one point what planet we were supposed to be on.
What Earth are we on?
They're like, well, I don't know.
Earth
so I just wanted this back the way it was. I was like, I get that, and Marvel can do the same thing. Well, I just want this done. All I was trying to do with Flash was I was just trying to make one thing happen.
Yeah,
and you ruined everything for everybody. Thanks. and Marvel could be doing the same thing. Well, I'm just trying to do this one thing.
Yeah.
And you can mess it up. I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
But it's the multiverse, and that's why things happen and get crazy.
I mean, if I'm Kevin Feige, and
he's got it under wraps.
Yeah,
he's got it. Yeah. He's got it figured out.
I have faith in Feige.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's more complicated than, hey, we have all these characters. Instead of trying to answer the question, where have they been this whole time?
Yeah.
Let's have Wanda bring mutants into this world. Mm-hmm. Now we can say mutants. Mm-hmm. And let's say mutants. And
they can officially now, right?
I'm pretty sure because they bought it. They bought the right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
But I don't think anybody's said it yet.
No. Because I don't think that has happened yet, right?
But that's what I'm saying. But they're technically allowed to, right?
I believe they are now. They were not able to use mutant before. Now I believe they can say the word mutant, and I think that's what this is. I don't think it's anything more complicated than that.
I'm all for that.
It's just to say, hey, we have a whole bunch of characters we haven't brought into this universe yet, and now we have a reason to tell you their story.
That's fine.
And so I'm like, cool.
It's gonna be fun
because it's gonna be progressively. It's gonna be harder and harder to just bring up a superhero and us not ask the question, where have they been this whole time?
Yeah.
If that was the case, then why hasn't Professor Xavier?
And I know they did that shit in the trailer for Eternals.
What's that?
They're like, well, where were you? Why didn't you guys fight Thanos? Oh, I know they did that on purpose.
Absolutely, because people
I know they did that on purpose.
Because that's the question you're always going to ask every single time you introduce a new superhero. Now. Yeah. You cannot say that Professor Xavier has had a school of superheroes this whole time.
And they missed everything.
And they didn't do anything ever.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
So now you say, okay, what we do is we crack open the multiverse. And we say, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Now here
I wasn't on your planet when all that happened.
We exist in a different realm.
It can be sticky, but it can be super fun.
I don't think it's more complicated than Kevin Feige being like, how can we introduce the characters we just bought into these movies? And we'll see. I don't think it's going to get as messy.
We'll see. Again, I'm gonna go watch what you put out.
I know.
Maybe not. I mean, I don't know.
We'll see.
For the most part, yeah, I'm gonna go watch movies.
I lost faith in the shows. I think. What If is
so just again.
I want to review
everything. We're like super quick. Give me 1 minute.
I know.
Give me a super quick rundown.
I want to review What If at the very end, but man,
I'll jump on it.
It's not good. It's quick. They're quick watches.
That's what I'm saying. I could do them in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
You could knock out 2 a day and finish it in 3 days or 5 days, right? But yeah, so much potential there that and maybe it's gonna come together in the end. But
like, do I have to watch every Marvel show hoping the last episode makes everything else make sense?
Yeah, I know, and it shouldn't be that way because
that's what all the shows were. To me, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And then the last episode, all right, now I get it.
So from whatever they wanted What If to be, what it has actually been for me is someone just saying, what if so-and-so was this instead?
Yeah, that's what the comics were. Like, what if that happened? What if that happened?
But no rhyme or reason. We're not going anywhere with this.
But you can say and do anything you want at that point.
But
make it fun.
Yeah, but it's not for any reason.
Yeah.
And again, you're in a Marvel universe where everything you have told me up until now has had a reason. And What If does not just seem to serve a purpose in the MCU.
Yeah.
For as of right now, I didn't see episode 4. No, episode 3.
Just in the first 2?
I just saw the first 2.
Okay.
I think episode 3 came out.
I heard it got better. I heard the first 3 were like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I heard that about all the other shows.
Did I see? I'm trying to think of which ones I saw. Yeah. I don't know. But they're not like, oh, it's so good, dude. You should watch it. It's so good. No.
I was not ever had planned on watching it.
Yeah, they're not.
And again, I don't have to watch everything.
It's too hard. It's too hard. But yeah, there's my one. So when it's all finished,
so I'll do it. I'll do it because they're 25 minutes or whatever. If it was a 45, 50-minute show, I would have a harder time.
Yeah. No.
Because all my other shows are 45, 50, 55 minutes.
Exactly. And
I can't be watching 3 shows. And that's actually why I started watching Harley Quinn. Because like, dude, I just need something quick to get through. I'm not trying to focus on the screen. I'm trying to like text people back.
Yeah.
Get on Instagram. Like I'm trying to do like just quick shit. And that's a good show where I can kind of look up. I can hear it. I don't have to be staring at the screen.
Oh, gotcha.
And if I have to pick up another show where I can have to be completely focused.
You're like, I can't.
Well, the 2 people I talk to are never going to get any text back.
Yeah.
So got to make sure they're doing all right.
But they're easy watches, but we'll just wait until the end.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully it gets better.
So do we have any big movies coming up next, Ro?
Man.
They moved Carnage back to October 1st.
October. So it's actually not bad at all.
No.
So Venom will be...
I'm going IMAX.
Yeah. Venom will be one that we'll be watching for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like going to probably take off from there. Dune reviews.
Oh my God.
Have you read them?
1.
And was it awful?
No, people are like just the sci-fi aspect of it. From the one dude I read it from. Oh. And I can you call it a sci-fi movie?
Yeah.
Because he's like, this is the best sci-fi movie I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read one.
I read 2 reviews.
Okay.
That both called it garbage.
Really?
Yes.
So very different things.
Yeah. I read that visually the movie is stunning. The story and the movie itself is garbage.
That's a bummer.
So I'm hoping that's not the case.
Again, well, one guy, not one of my main guys either.
Oh, okay.
I don't do the main guys until later.
The early Dune reviews are coming out, and apparently they're mixed. I'll go back and read some more.
Interesting.
Yeah, the 2 reviews that I read said that the movie as a whole was not good, and it was a miss. That it was. Yeah, it was.
Dang,
visually,
it's gonna be another one of those movies where it's like, I loved it, I hated it, nah, like Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
you either loved it or hated it.
And maybe maybe there's certain maybe it's very sci-fi heavy, and some people don't like that, and some people
and maybe this guy did.
Yeah,
he likes
sci-fi heavy stuff. But again, it's one of those things where I'm like, when it's super sci-fi heavy, I don't recommend it to everybody. I understand. I get why people don't like that stuff. Same thing with fantasy. Super fantasy heavy. I don't recommend that to everybody, right?
I mean, I'm going to watch it still.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. And I just
yeah.
I was like, oh, it's a bummer. So early reviews for that. That'll happen too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do that, and then we'll just have to. I mean, we're getting in the swing of things, in the fall and winter.
Yeah.
So we're getting back in the theater. We're getting big movies again.
I'm gonna go back to theaters.
So, lots coming up. We'll have to check out.
This is a hot way to start back up again.
I know. I wanted to get it. I wanted to just get in here and get with it. I had a lot of time to think. 2 months to think about my life. 2 months to just figure it out. And when you have
haven't slept in 2 months.
When you bring a living, breathing thing into the world, you really question whether or not you're capable and what lessons you're gonna stow upon this living creature that you call son, and really makes you.
It bums me out. He's been sleeping through all the good shows, though. I guess
I know.
Not his style, though. If he's gonna sleep right through Titans,
I think it's gonna hit him subliminally.
Yeah,
he's gonna absorb.
He's like hearing things that are happening.
Yeah. He's just like, be a Nightwing fan.
Yeah. He's hearing all this stuff, but I'm like, hey, he's sleeping through a lot of good shows.
Yeah, come on, man,
wake up, watch what's going on.
All right.
We're back.
We are back. Feels good. See you later. Until next time.